Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 11. My name is Erin. If you're new here, I am a northern living YouTuber based in the Yukon. And today we are going to be answering some questions about very cold weather because it was, I think, minus 50 this morning at our house. So that's pretty freaking cold and people have a lot of questions about it. So let's get into it. First off, I just want to say, for all my Americans out there, minus 40 Celsius is the same as minus 40 Fahrenheit. So that's where they equal out. So just to give you a kind of gauge on how cold it is, I think minus 50 Celsius is like getting close to minus 60 Fahrenheit. So it's really cold outside. But let's get into the questions, shall we? First, someone asked, how's your place doing with this temperature test? So if you don't know, we recently moved into a farmhouse in the countryside just outside of Whitehorse, and it's actually doing quite well. Along the windows and the doors, there's definitely some ice forming. I'm not sure if that is something that just happens at this temperature. I mean, it's minus 50, so that's pretty freaking cold, and I don't really know if you can expect anything better. But yeah, we've had quite a lot of ice kind of building up along the sides of the windows, and other than that, it's been pretty great, honestly. My car wouldn't start today, so I wasn't able to go to work, but the wood stove's been working great. It's been pumping out a lot of heat. We have tons of wood, and yeah, it's been really great, honestly. I've been loving it. We do live north of town, so definitely colder than in Whitehorse, which has been kind of fun, honestly. Next question is, I'm from Florida, lol. How is it shooting in that kind of weather, shooting a camera? And do you need any extra gear outside of clothing? Doesn't the extreme cold affect the camera function or images at all? So I've never really had problems with my camera specifically. Yesterday I was filming a longer video outside and it didn't actually work. My camera glitched out and the file was unreadable when I put it onto my computer, so I guess there is probably a cutoff for temperature. Minus 50 is pretty cold. My screen actually did freeze up yesterday though, so it was kind of like lagging when I was moving the camera around, and the image on the screen wasn't correct, if that makes sense. So yes, the camera does glitch out. I have a Canon EOS R6 Mark II. So it's pretty new, it's amazing, honestly, but yes, it definitely can glitch out. You also have to be pretty careful bringing them from outside back inside. So when I come back in with my camera, I make sure to keep it far away from our fire so that it kind of warms up more slowly, because you can create some moisture buildup within the camera. I have had moisture on the inside of the lens where I've had to take the lens off and just clean, but you don't want that building up inside your camera, obviously. But other than that, I mean, my cameras have always been champs. I've gone out in minus 30 to take photos of the northern lights and that kind of thing. And I've never really had too many problems. I mean, you're not really outside for a super long time anyway at this temperature. So hopefully your camera can stay warm enough to do whatever you've got to do out there. Next, favorite cold weather indoor activity and outdoor activity. Honestly, walking outside in this weather is amazing. You can't really do too much at minus 50. Like, you're outside for 10 minutes and your face is freezing and it comes in through your clothes. So walking the dogs really on a short little loop, we do that. Or the water throw. I mean, you gotta do the water throw. It's a classic. My favorite indoor activities are knitting, journaling, hanging out with the dogs and Nathan. We're watching Stranger Things right now, so watching some Stranger Things. And then I recently got a board game in the mail because my family loves to play board games at Christmas. So we're gonna play that tonight too, just to like get ahead and figure out, you know, the rules. This is the game also if anyone's interested. It's called, I don't know if you can see it with the glare. It's called Mysterium. I have no idea what it's about, but pretty excited. All right, what do you think about wearing real fur when it's so cold? So honestly, nothing keeps you as warm as fur does at this temperature. It was made by nature for this purpose, and I've never been able to find something that keeps the warmth in like fur, unfortunately. I am very anti fur farms, but there are a lot of trappers in the Yukon, and locally trapped furs are a thing here. So I do have 2 parkas that have fur on them. 2 of them are vintage, so the fur is from, you know, like 40 years ago. And then I do have a newer parka that was made in Dawson City, which is north, about 5 hours north of where we live. And that one has a fur ruff on it. And honestly, the fur ruffs, one of my other coats doesn't have it, and your face will freeze instantly. Whereas if you have the fur ruff, it actually traps the heat around your face and keeps your face warm. So it truly is amazing. Like the fake fur ones don't do anything like that. So yes and no. I do think when it gets to this temperature, synthetic materials just are not the same. They don't work as well, unfortunately. People have lived on this land for tens of thousands of years, and they traditionally used fur and hide, and they were able to stay warm. And I think that is honestly the best way to do it, as long as it's ethically sourced and you're actually using what you buy. Next is what shoes. So I have two pairs of boots right now that I've been using. I have my Fubuki boots. I have a pair of bunny boots from Alaska Gear Company. And I think the bunny boots are my favorite right now. They are apparently rated to -70. I don't actually know if that's realistic or not, but I will say my feet haven't gotten cold this whole winter, so that's pretty great. Yeah. Nathan does have a pair of the old Alaska bunny boots. They were like military grade, and they were absolutely insane. So it'll be interesting to test them out compared to the newer ones and see like if they can stand up, because the old bunny boots are honestly the best boots you can, if you can find them, buy a pair. You'd have to find them on eBay, but they're like amazing apparently. My goal is to find a pair this year for me. Best way to keep batteries from dying in the cold. So for your phone, you pretty much just need to keep it close to your body or else it will die. For your car, all the cars here have battery heaters and oil pan heaters and a little plug at the front of the car. So you just plug your car in at night and it should work. My plug is broken, so I plugged my car in last night, but it did not work. So it has frozen solid. So if it gets too cold, your battery will die and your car just won't start. And that's a very common thing. If you're from here or you live here, people will often call into work and say, hey, my car didn't start. I can't make it to work. That's another thing that's really interesting about the Yukon, is that nothing shuts down when it's -40. Like everything's still open. The schools are always open because it's actually dangerous for children to not be able to get into the school at that temperature. Like they need to have the doors open. So schools are all open. Kids actually will like go outside and walk around the school once for recess in the -40 weather. All the grocery stores are open. I went to work yesterday. Like everything's just business as usual, because we do get cold weather a lot and nothing would ever happen if we took snow days or cold weather days every time it was cold. All right, this person said food, and I think they're wondering because they had messaged me earlier asking about how gardening and like plants outside live. We don't have gardens in the winter here. Everything's covered in snow. Most of our food is shipped up from the south in the winter and in the summer, honestly. We get most of our food. We don't really have tons of like food industry here, although we are getting more farms and stuff, but yeah, none of that in the winter. There are, I think, potatoes and carrots you can still buy that are Yukon grown, but those are from the summer. They are not from right now. If you have to drive anywhere, do you take emergency items in the vehicle with you? So I actually have a little bit of an emergency kit in my car. It has like a candle and stuff. Although at this temperature, you're not gonna stay warm for very long. I will just fully dress up. I'll wear my big boots, I'll wear my snow pants and my big coat, mitts, all that stuff. But honestly, just not going anywhere is your best option, because if you break down and no one's around, you can be in really big trouble. I think a couple years ago, people ended up breaking down and they lit their car on fire to keep warm, to stay alive, because it was so cold and nobody found them for hours. So preferably you stay home. If you have to drive, make sure, yeah, that you have warm clothes, heat packs, that kind of thing. But yeah, there's nothing that'll keep you actually warm for long enough. Okay, second last question. What kind of snow is it? Does it pack well for making forts? No, it is the kind of crispiest snow you can get. I think some people call it sugar snow. You can't pack it into a snowball. There is no moisture in it. It is so dry. It's just like, it falls apart in your hand like sugar. Like it does not stick together at all. All right, final question. Hi, Erin from the Netherlands. Is there still wildlife there with these cold temperatures? Yes, so our wildlife is built for these temperatures. We have foxes and coyotes and wolves and bears. Bears should technically be hibernating in their dens. We've got deer and elk and moose, and all of them have evolved to be able to live in these temperatures. They all have the fur and everything to, yeah, make it through. I do think they probably get a little bit chilly in these temperatures, but they make it through. All right, cool everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're having an amazing December, and yeah, I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 12. Have a good night.